My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Undertone. And it's kind of funny seeing all the different reactions to this movie because it's really made up of two very distinct groups. One group finds this movie is overhyped, it's slow, it's boring, they hate this movie, while the other group thinks this movie is terrifying and incredible and they just love it. And look, I'm not going to pretend to be that guy in the middle. No, I love this movie. But I will say this, it is a movie where you have to get on its wavelength. It's a movie you have to be patient with because it's very slow and not much happens. When I left the theater, there was a group of teenagers, and I could hear them being like, what was the point of this? And what was the point of that? So it's not a movie that's going to work for everyone, but holy shit, did it work for me. If I could best compare this movie to anything else, it's Paranormal Activity and The Blair Witch Project. If you love those movies, I think you'll love this one. If you hate those movies, this one ain't gonna work for you. So, now that I got that out of the way, let's begin by talking about the cast. And Nina Carey is really the only character we see. Like, technically there is her mom, but she just lies on the bed for the entire movie. So, really, it's just her, and I thought she carried this movie incredibly well. I love how she's the skeptic. She's always trying to come up with a rational theory, and I just love watching her worldview crumble throughout the duration of the movie, and she sells you on everything that she needed to. Adam DeMarco, you only ever hear his voice, but I thought he did a great job. He just brings this upbeat energy, but there comes a point where he stops being the happy guy and he becomes really afraid. And when that turn happens, he just brought so much dramatic weight. And yeah, I was really impressed. So the acting is good, but the real star of this movie is Ian Tucson, who, by the way, is going to direct the next Paranormal Activity movie, and I cannot wait for that. Like, this is a match made in heaven. But I was kind of surprised at how engrossing I found this movie. There was conversations of the characters just talking about theories and speculations, and I was truly riveted by it. Despite this movie being very slow, I never found it boring for a single second, and the craftsmanship is top notch. This movie has a wonderful atmosphere, and the cinematography by Graham Beasley is incredible. Like, I love how the camera's constantly moving on its side. I love the use of Dutch angles, but I love how this movie uses negative space. There's lots of scenes where the character is in one half of the frame and the other half is just empty. And I just found myself staring in that darkness, looking for something, because it just felt like evil was lurking. And the sound design and mixing here, holy shit. The poster says, the scariest movie you'll ever hear. And it is kinda accurate. This movie really got under my skin. And I can't describe it. Like, some of the sounds here, It's really unnerving stuff, and I love how this movie plays around with nursery rhymes. Sometimes they listen to nursery rhymes on backwards, and a character will be like, "Did you hear that?" And the other character's like, "What?" And they'll like, "Play it again." And we keep listening to it backwards again and again, and you're listening for something, and it's just really effective stuff, I thought. There's also other hidden backward messages, and the movie just always has some sort of scary sound. So like my ears weren't full alert. I was always listening. And I love the way this movie escalates from beginning to end. And by the time we get to the last act, it is terrifying. I'm going to be honest here. I kind of started tearing up because I was so freaked out. Like, this movie was an experience, and it just feels evil. By the final minutes of this movie, I felt like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to. You know The Ring? You know how like people watch the haunted tape and then they get haunted? I felt like this movie was that tape, and when it ended, I was just shooken up. I had to like take a few minutes, and yeah, not many movies do that to me. Um, yeah, it. I would actually say this is probably the scariest movie I've seen since The Invisible Man, maybe Conjuring 2. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely one of the scariest movies as of late. It's a movie you have to get it on its wavelengths, but if you're able to do so, it's engrossing and terrifying. It's crafted to perfection, top to bottom. I loved it. I'm giving Undertone a 9 out of 10. There's honestly a very good chance that this ends up as my favorite movie of 2026, and I cannot wait for Paranormal Activity 8. But Undertone, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.